Okay, let's get back to it. Yay.
Hi, I'll be with you in just a sec.
I need to talk to you about your work with CSAC.
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to my customers.
This isn't a game, Jenna. These people are dangerous.
Now you sound like my sister. Why is everyone so concerned about me? I can take care of myself. I need to go. I'm not a stripper. I don't get paid to stand around and look pretty.
Tough girl. Commander. What do you want?
What's bothering you, General?
I've seen a lot of horrible things in my days, and there's only one woman in this damn galaxy that helps me forget it.
This is pathetic. What could a woman do to put you in this state?
Because she rejected me! Me! Septimus Oraka, General of the Turian Fleet.
Some general. What kind of example are you to your troops?
The troops can kiss my leathery backside. All I wanted was to retire and be with her. Look, kid, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but don't waste your time.
General, did you ever win a battle by moping in a bar?
Ha, war. That's what this feels like, all right. How did I let it come to this? So you think it's that easy? Just straighten up and act like a general?
It damn well couldn't hurt.
Huh. Maybe you're right, Commander. Shaira's worth the effort, even if she won't have me back.
This is no place for someone of your stature, General.
All right, I'll go to her. After I've had a cold shower or two. Say, you're a bright kid. Would you be interested in earning a few extra credits?
What do you want me to do?
There's an L-Corps diplomat out there who believes Shaira gave up his secrets.
Why's that?
Because I told him. Look, I just need you to convince him of the truth.
What makes you think he'll believe me?
You'll bring him proof. Take this data pad. It shows where I got my info. It will exonerate Shaira and convince the L-Corps.
Who am I taking it to, and where is he?
His name is Zaltan. He's an L-Corps diplomat. He's over in the embassies complaining about Shaira. Well, here's to soldiers acting like soldiers. Thanks, Commander. You know, you might make a good general yourself one day.
We can only hope. She does okay. What with the galaxy falling apart around her.
If you've got questions about Jenna, meet me at CSEC Academy.
Are you talking to me?
Push off. I never did nothing to you. Damn newcomers. Think they can run the place.
What the hell was that about?
I guess we better go find out.
Hello, Commander.
Hello, random person. Why do they let you talk to random people like that? They're not going
Take
to tell you
your
anything
shell.
important.
Come into my office. I want to discuss this in private. No offense, Commander, but what the hell were you thinking?
I don't follow you.
You could have blown Jenna's cover.
We were trying to help her.
I gathered that. It might seem cold letting her take all the risk, but we're keeping a close eye on her.
It's too dangerous. You need to find another way.
It's not that simple, Shepard. This job isn't easy and it's usually unpleasant. I'll take help anywhere I can find it. But since you're so concerned with her safety, maybe there's a way we can help each other.
It's nice to see you're still working all the angles, Chelik.
It's part of the job. Now, are you gonna help me or not?
You're a smart guy, Chelik. Figure out another way.
I do have several contingencies. She's just my option A. I'll cut her loose, even get her out of Cora's den, no strings attached. But that still leaves my case unsolved. I could still use your help.
I'll help you, but I need some details.
I'm trying to track down an illegal arms producer. I just need some of their product. Thanks to Jenna's intel, I've learned there's a seller here on the Citadel. Meet our man named Jax. Pick up the mods and bring them back here. That'll give me everything I need.
Why are you so concerned about these mods?
We have access to some of the most sophisticated weaponry there is. It's what gives us our edge. What do you suppose happens when we lose that edge?
These give criminals an advantage we can't afford to let them keep.
I'll persuade Jax to tell me where these mods are coming from.
No. You tip Jax off and all my leads will disappear faster than you can say bad bust.
I'll persuade.
No. You tip Jax off.
Where can I find this Jax?
Jax is down in the lower level of the markets. I'll send word through our channels that you're the buyer. Good luck, Commander.
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
Do you have the mods?
Show her the goods.
Looks good.
Damn straight it is. These mods are the best on the market. Now hand over my credits.
Here you go.
Here you go. Enjoy it. Come on, boys. We're done here.
Commander, I hear you have something for me.
Here's your shipment, Chelik.
Excellent. This is everything I need. Huh. Maybe more than I need. Here, Commander, take this. I won't need it, and you've earned some payment for your work. I appreciate your help. It shows a lot of integrity. You didn't need to do anything after I let Jenna go.
Now I need to get these mods into evidence. Thanks again, Shepard.
Strange greeting, human. This is really not a good time.
I know who revealed your secret. It was a Turian named Septimus.
Unbelieving, I know this Septimus, and he could not learn my secrets. The only way he could learn them is from the Asari consort.
Here, there should be proof enough for you.
Confused. This is difficult to fathom. If the Turian could learn this on his own, dismayed, anyone can discover my secret.
Septimus is a powerful man, and it wasn't easy for him to find.
Relieved. I suppose you are correct, human. Thank you for this information. Startled realization. I must speak with the consort. She will be most displeased with my actions. Anxious request. Please, human, if you will excuse me, I must go now.
I'm sure she'll forgive you. It was an honest mistake.
Doubtful. Perhaps you are right, human. I can only hope so. Thankful. That was a great thing you did, Commander. Approving. You see, Din, not all humans are as you say.
I'm sure the clan stands to profit from some.
Oh, there's one keeper I'm missing, and I have no idea where it's at. So I'm sorry, we're gonna have to wander around here a bit till I find it.
So they finally did it. I knew one of your kind would make Spectre one day. I only hope you're better than the one they're sending you after.
I'll do whatever it takes to stop Saren.
That's what worries me. Was there something you wanted?
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
That's one thing that is a little disappointing about Mass Effect, is like, you can say right there, I'll do whatever it takes to stop Saren, but you never really are driven to the point of doing whatever it takes. Like, they make you sacrifice one of your crew members later on, but that's not the same thing as, like, committing genocide like Saren has done. So, it would be nice if they would actually let you make a decision like that. You know, really live up to the I would do whatever it takes, because the decisions you make are pretty small scale. There's nothing huge in this game that you make as far as a big choice. There's the Rachni decision, which is kind of a big choice, but there's one Rachni queen left. They're not gonna make it. And then there's the whole situation with the Krogan, but that doesn't really actually lead to Saren. That's just the Krogan situation, which Saren is taking advantage of. So I guess those choices are in the game, but they're not as prominent as they should be. There's the Caden and Ashley choice later on in the game. That's the game's big choice, I feel. Everything else that happens in this game is pretty low-key. Like I've said before, Mass Effect 1 is pretty skippable. Everything that happens in it is kind of irrelevant, which is disappointing.
Got a moment, Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
I eliminate them, and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation. I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
At the time this statue was built, the entire galaxy respected the Krogan. Now they're simply hated and feared.
You won't have to put up with us for much longer, Turian. People will die out soon enough, thanks to you.
Some would argue you brought this on yourself. It was the Krogan who started the war.
And the Turians made sure to finish it.
It was a long time ago. What drew you back to the city? To the consulate? I don't know exactly. It may sound strange, but I simply...
Commander, I recently received a lovely note from Septimus. Thank you for speaking with him. Even the Alcor diplomat has withdrawn his campaign against me.
It was my honor to aid you.
You are too kind, Commander, but I would not expect you to help me out of the kindness of your heart. I also have one more thing to give you, if you are interested.
What are you offering me?
I offer a gift of words, an affirmation of who you are and who you will become. I see you. Your uniform fits as though you were born wearing it. You are a soldier through and through, proud, solitary, alone, but it gives you strength. It is that strength that people are drawn to. It is why you lead and others follow without question. You will need that leadership in the battles to come. This may be who you are, but it is not who you will become. It only forms the basis for your future greatness. Remember these words when doubt descends, Commander.
You have quite a gift, Shaira.
Thank you. Not everyone appreciates it as you do. Never underestimate the power of words. Here, Commander. In light of your efforts with the Alcor ambassador, I would like you to have this small trinket.
What is it?
A small mystery. I have never learned its use or purpose, but I sense it is time for me to pass it on. And now I must ask you to leave. I have done everything I can for you. Remember my words.
Her words do nothing, don't worry about it. There's a reason she doesn't show up in the sequels. It's because she has no role whatsoever.
You're with the Alliance? My brother's a...
Alright, just one more of these keepers to find, then I'm done on the Citadel for now.
I was never a fan of this statue. The Krogan monument just seems more impressive to me.
That statue will be very important later on, don't forget about it.
Please do not disturb me.
Must be hard for you, Garrus, knowing that the person behind all this death and destruction is a Turian Spectre.
Saren is either a traitor or a madman. Taking him down will restore the good name of Turians everywhere.
Glad to hear it. I was losing sleep over the prospect of people not loving the Turians.
No, I'm waiting to speak.
Maybe. But I wouldn't believe everything.
Oh boy.
I've always wondered if the Turians released their menophage on their own, or if the Council secretly encouraged them.
Ah, I think that might be it back there, the one I missed. Hopefully it is. I want to get going. Yep.
I'd love to see what the Normandy can do in a fight.
Only an idiot hopes for combat while flying in a stealth ship.
But the stealth drive adds a new tactical level to space combat as we know it. Surprise attacks, undetected flanking maneuvers.
This isn't a strategy simulation. If those new tactics don't work, we're salvage.
Rex has a point given what happens in Mass Effect 2.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
This isn't right. The Normandy belongs to you.
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
What kind of leads do we have?
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
Your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll take care of Saren. You take care of the political fallout.
Not exactly the answer I was looking for, Shepard. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing. But you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
This sounds exactly like Zaid's loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2.
Sounds like overkill to me.
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council... I had a bad feeling about him right from the start.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander, 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. This began with an attack on a human settlement in the Traverse. But we know Saren won't stop there. His Geth armies aren't going to stay on the far fringes of Citadel space. This is the most important mission any of us have ever been on. The fate of an entire galaxy is at stake. We will stop Saren, no matter what the cost.
Well said, Commander. The captain will be proud.
Fancy speeches won't stop Saren from finding the conduit. If we really want to make the captain proud, we better get this bird in the air.
Yes, ma'am.
The subtitles are distracting me. Sorry.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know?
What's wrong with your eyes?
Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolich syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I need to know more about this Vrolich syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Shepard was being kind of a dick about that, and there's really not a nice way that the game allows you to ask those questions. So, yeah.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
He won't talk to me. He's insubordinate. Whatever. Talk to him later. It's not important right now. even if you're not going to read any of the codexes, it's worth it to go around and try to track everything down that you can click on, because you get experience points for it. So it's tedious, but, you know, if you get levels for not doing anything, for not fighting anything, you know, barely having to work at it, that's a good trade-off.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out. I want, but humanity needs the Alliance if
I
we
should
want.
go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I've already talked to her about that. Last stream, if you missed it. This is irritating. This is the only way to get to the lowest level of the Normandy on the slowest elevator in the whole game, probably. It's not a big room. There's not much in it. And there's no stairwell that leads down to it. And yet, they hide it behind an elevator loading screen, and I don't understand why. I've never understood why. Just one of the little annoying things in Mass Effect 1.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Alright, so you can see there a problem with some of the characters in Mass Effect 1, and I've talked about this before. Mass Effect 1 is mostly building the world of Mass Effect, so when you talk to Garrus, he tells you about C-Sec. When you talk to Tali, she tells you about the Quarians and the Geth, but they don't really tell you about themselves, which is a problem, which improves considerably in Mass Effect 2, which is one of the reasons Mass Effect 2 is a significantly better game. But as I talk with more people here, you'll see.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Yeah, they tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Seriously. That was an idiotic thing to say, Shepard.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Garrus is interesting because he doesn't talk to us about the Turians. A little, but mostly what he talks about is C-Sec.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at C-Sec.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At C-Sec, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But C-Sec wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. C-Sec's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Oh, the Mako. God, how I hate this thing. I'm gonna do my best not to be too negative when I'm doing the Mako sequences, but I'm probably going to break down in cursing several times. And I
Commander?
apologize in advance for that.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The answer seems plain enough to me. Be more alert.
Aye, aye, Commander. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
I'm in charge here, Presley. I decide if we have non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
This is bigger than humanity. Saren's a threat to every species in the galaxy, and I'll welcome anyone who wants to help me bring him down.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Okay, time for exploring the Mass Effect galaxy in Mass Effect 1, which is not my favorite thing to do in this game, but I said I was going to go for a full clear for this run, so I gotta do it. This involves a lot of driving around in the freaking Mako and killing lots of people in prefabricated structures, and it's not fun. But let's just do it. Let's get it over with. Things are a lot easier to do if you just do them instead of complaining about them. that's about as interesting as the Mako gets. Driving around in circles, shooting rockets at people. And almost everything you fight in the Mako is a bullet sponge. It's not fun time. Oh, are you kidding me? Ugh. Fine. And this is the other fun thing about the Mako, is you don't get to see where everything is on the map, so you have to drive around the planet in a big circle to make sure you found everything. Which I don't mind exploration when it's a fun world to explore, but it's the freaking Mako, and it's not fun.
Heading out.
The nice thing about tracking down all these materials, though, is they do carry over into Mass Effect 2, and they get you a huge jump start on the research projects in Mass Effect 2. So, you know, whether or not it's worth it is up in the air, but at least you do get something out of it, which is nice. I think there's 3 to a planet. I don't remember. I'll worry about that later. And you gotta check the asteroid belts, because there might be things hidden inside the asteroid belts that you can't actually see. Ugh. Yeah, I much prefer galaxy exploration in Mass Effect 2 and 3. Some people don't. They're entitled to their opinion. I like it there because it's not really any more fun, but it's easier to do. It's less time consuming. It's less tedious. It's just navigating menus on the galaxy map, which I prefer to do over driving in circles in one of the worst vehicles I've ever had the displeasure to drive in a video game. Oh, the Mako, how I hate the Mako. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The Mako is like if somebody tried to make an action game out of the Moon Rover. You know, the Moon Rover is great for getting around on the moon, but strapping a tank to it does not make it a viable combat vehicle. Okay, I'm irritated. I'm really irritated right now. Another thing that I don't like in Mass Effect 1 that is vastly improved upon in Mass Effects 2 and 3 is arbitrary skill gates on having the ability to click on something and get an item out of it. Mass Effect 2 and 3 doesn't have that, because why does it exist at all? I've already taken the time to hike all the way out to it, and then, no, you can't have that because your electronic skill isn't high enough. Well, bite me.
Taking fire!
It's the other thing that sucks about fighting at the Mako. The rocket launcher sucks.
Heading out.
Okay, this is ridiculous. The core game of Mass Effect is pretty good. All of the side content. All of it. Every millimeter of the side content is garbage. You know, driving around in the Mako, doing side quests that don't matter. Garbage. There's a reason that I recommend people, if they want to play the Mass Effect games, start on Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1, unless you really want to know about how the Reapers got started, is irrelevant. You can skip it. It doesn't matter. Somebody lived there. On this planet. 2 crates and the canopy to a truck. Somebody lived under that. I mean, I'm not sure if, you know, being a colonist in Mass Effect is actually that squalid, or they just didn't try very hard. Once I start getting into some of the combat side content, I think you'll see that BioWare just didn't try very hard, because if it's not a story mission, pretty much everything is fought in the same building. It's kind of like Dragon Age 2, actually. Alright, let's see if we can beat these jackhole pirates. That get shredded again, that was ridiculous. You shoot where I'm aiming. No? Okay. See, because the Mako will let me aim this far low. But because the cannon can't actually point that far low, it won't fire there. So basically, I can aim in this bottom half of the screen, but I can't actually shoot there. So if the enemy has the high ground and you're in the Mako, you're basically screwed. And the game ensures that the enemy pretty much always has the high ground. I am in a tank. Why can I not annihilate them? Now we wait forever for my shields to come back. So I can go kill 2 or 3 more of them and repeat. And now are you understanding why I despise the Mako? There. And here's the really sad part. That was an easy group of enemies. This is what Mako combat is like. I need to calm down. God, the Mako just infuriates me. Just driving in it just is like needles being driven into my head. It is so tedious. But like I said, I need to calm down. And this building you're looking at here is pretty much the same building you'll be fighting in for every single side quest in the game.
Shield down.
Enemy is everywhere! Enemy is everywhere! Hold the line!
Ah, bastard. This is what passes for combat AI in Mass Effect 1, is they just kind of wander around. They don't really try to fight you. Yeah.
Go, go, go! Hold the line!
Come on, get in cover. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm just gonna follow the main story for a while. I'll come back and do this crap later, because... oh my god, I forgot how bad it is. I'll come back later when I'm ridiculously overpowered for everything and do it then. Because... it's not worth the torture. The core game is good. It's not great, but it's good. The side content is... awful. From start to finish. Once you've saved up enough money to buy the Spectre equipment, then the side content becomes a lot easier. But I have nowhere near that much money yet. Now, if you look at the map, you can tell this is a story mission because it's an actual map rather than just a pre-generated blob with hills.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
See, this is actually a designed area that effort was put into instead of just a pre-generated map. I have to do it in the Mako, which I'm not too thrilled about, but we'll muddle through. Remember what I said earlier about everything you fight in the Mako being a bullet sponge?
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
What? Alright. No, I will not turn the difficulty down. Why would you suggest such a thing? Get in a position where I can actually use my freaking rocket launcher. Thanks. This is the Mako, ladies and gentlemen. This is why the Mako was not in Mass Effect 2 and 3. It's awful. I don't know anybody off the top of my head who actually likes the thing, and I think I can remember the number of people who said they've liked it using the fingers on one hand.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
Let's go, Mako. There you go. Oh my god, you suck. Yes, you have a very impressive physics engine. Can we go in the straight line, please?
Hostile spotted.
I don't even need to open that gate. I don't know why I opened it last time, because I saw a green button and I had to push it. god, die. Wow. The Mako is awful. There's not a single positive experience with the Mako, as far as I'm concerned. But look how slowly the shields recover. This is a shield-based cover game, and that's how fast the shields recover. Just imagine if you were playing Halo or Gears of War, something that has a regenerating health bar that makes the entire game playable. And that was how fast it recovered. You wouldn't waste your time with it. And yet, the Mako works exactly like that, and it's a huge component of this game. You spend a lot of time in the Mako. It doesn't take a lot of thought to understand why the Mako did not return. The Mako is awful. See there, see, I have the high ground, which should be a tactical advantage against these things, but because the Mako can't actually aim down, because the tank is fixed in the middle, the turret is fixed in the middle of the tank, and does not have a neck, so it can actually aim down, I can't hit them. See, it goes right over their heads. The Mako is awful. Got too close to them, can't hit them. There we go. I'm gonna try really hard not to just go on and on and on about how the Mako is the worst designed thing in the entire Mass Effect trilogy, up to and including the ending. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to be all that successful about it, because I truly loathe the Mako, and every second I spend in it, my skin crawls. Get in cover, idiot. There you go. It's a good idea to get in a habit of saving after every firefight, especially if you're playing on Insanity, because this game has a spiky difficulty curve. You'll be doing just fine against one group of enemies, and then the next one will just completely knock you dead. Case in point. Another thing the AI tends to do in this game is just kind of walk at you until you die, and since a lot of the enemies in this game are bullet sponges, it's pretty effective. This game is a pain in the ass until you can get the high-end gear. And then it becomes really freaking easy, because the AI doesn't fight you, it just walks at you shooting bullets. See, Mass Effect's an okay game. You just gotta get out of that freaking Mako. When you're not in the Mako, you're having a good time. Oh, man. Ugh. Wow. You see how quickly my guys got taken out there? That was ridiculous.
Destination blocked.
Yes, the other wonderful thing, you can't skip the cutscenes. You can skip dialogue. Can't skip cutscenes. So who knows how many times we're going to have to sit through this. Okay, I'm gonna get some of the drink. I'll be right back. For years, whenever I would replay Mass Effect Trilogy, I would not replay Mass Effect Trilogy. I would play Mass Effect 2, then I'd play Mass Effect 3. I'd kind of forgotten why. Now I'm remembering why. Mass Effect 1 is an infuriatingly dumb game. It's got a great story. The dialogue is pretty cool, handled really well. It builds a great world narratively. As a game, it's not good. Can't even do one damn thing. Can't even stick my head out to use an ability. Dead. I can't skip the cutscene. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's try something else.
Now it gets fun. Alright, I just gotta find the right place to fight these guys at, then I'll be fine. I don't know how many times I'm gonna be able to handle running up this hill and watching this damn cutscene. Go over here. No, don't go over there.
out of the way, Rex, so I can move. You know, if there's one thing in video games that doesn't make sense, but I still don't mind it when it happens, it's when you can just walk through your allies, because when you can't move because they're standing right behind you, and you didn't know that because you can't see them, that annoys the hell out of me. Alright. Just got the freaking armor left. Oh. Sabotage completely locked that thing down. I'll have to keep that in mind. That's handy. Screw you guys. Okay. Yeah, neither can I.
Visited a Prothean ruin before, aside from the Citadel.
Yep. Even the dungeons have elevator rides. Mass Effect 1 is famous for its elevator rides. Whoa.
Sterile light. Protheans sure build things homey.
Need to get Garrus's electronic skill up because he is just not staying alive.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
How did you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth, beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
We just need to figure some way past this energy field.
It's a Prothean barrier curtain. I knew it would keep me safe from the Geth. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
see what I mean? They just walk at you. This isn't really a cover-based shooter because the enemies don't use cover. They just walk at you until they kill you. Wow.